hunt them all down and take back the city.
The Crysis franchise is about the Nanosuit. The Nanosuit, in different ways, forms going through a story of development, with either with camaraderies like in Crysis 1, or through a story arc in Crysis 2, as well as Crysis 3 now with a very emotional human side of a story. So we are depicting the Nanosuit as a key ingredient of the IP, Crysis, with pairing it and combining it with this open sandbox structure, with systemic AI designs, encapsulating it into a nice, hopefully, emotionally player-driven storyline that eventually gives you this very realistic depiction of a science fiction game. So with Crysis 3, we are bringing the human side, the nature side back, and it's a very dark tone, but it's a tone of hope, it's a tone of humanity, it's a tone of nature. So, for example, with Crysis 2, we experimented with an urban environment and wanted to bring something new. The team was tired of doing jungles, of Far Cry, Crysis 1, Crysis Warhead, and so they said, let's make a city. We said, well, okay, let's try a sandbox shooter in a city. Right? And so we did that, and a lot of people criticized this as being linear, and so we said, okay, it wasn't really linear, but it was more linear, it was less open, let's say this way, than Crysis 1 was. And so with Crysis 3, we took the best of the breeds in a way of an open experience, open environment with lush vegetation, combined with kind of 30% of the Crysis 2 urban environment, so you get the 70-30 mix. Nice cocktail that we have this urban rainforest now. Well, the Crysis 3, the Nanosuit, is again based on player research. They wanted to have a more streamlined, more adaptive experience, more emotional experience from a story perspective. They wanted the player to talk a little bit more. So we said, how can we do this in a fictionally true, but yet player demanded way? Because player is king, our users are king. We want what the users want, but also we want to do stuff that we think they don't know yet that they want. Right? So we want to innovate beyond what people can imagine, but also do what people want. And so bringing this human side and a very nice story twist allowed us to satisfy the player demands, but also have some innovation and surprises in our bag still. Ironically, I think Crysis 3 is the most approachable sandbox shooter we've done so far. Because I believe that in Crysis 1 was quite open, and it was quite a hardcore experience for people, in fact, right? In Crysis 2, we tried to make this a bit more choreographed, and it's backlash because people felt pushed into certain things, and the story was pushing you forward, like go, 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 move, 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 because it's important right now, you know? And so, in Crysis 3, what we tried is to make a game that is still player-driven, where you activate things, you are doing the first fire, you are shooting first, you are engaging first, effectively. So the proactive shooter, yeah, the thinking shooter, effectively, is what Crysis 1 was about. But we still have choreographed major events that drives or tells a story, but doesn't push you forward in a sense as what we did. So it's a stylistic change. I think also because of the 7 Wonders, which are not just visual background, but rather gameplay drivers through things like the Fields level that we're showing today. In Fields, theme of one of the 7 Wonders is called Fields. We have, in one of the levels, we have a high-grown grass in an old train yard. So this grass is not just, to some degree, how it was in Crysis 1, just grass as a visual decor, but rather it's actually a gameplay driver. So when you are in the grass, first of all, the grass bends when you move. Likewise, that's what the AI sees. The AI sees if you're in the grass and hiding, it doesn't see it because when you're hiding, right, in the grass. So it truly allows you to take advantage of the 7 Wonders, each of them being different, and hence it caters you naturally into a playstyle. So that adds accessibility because people don't have to figure out in a more average environment, what should I do? Rather, oh, maybe I should hide in the grass. Oh, maybe I should go underwater. Maybe I should go use the smoke as the fog as an advantage. You know, things like that. That drives naturally player choice, but doesn't force it. So Crysis 3 is the most accessible, story-rich, however, player-driven sandbox that we have done so far. Crysis 3 is going to be, to that date, the most impressive Crytek game ever. I mean, I think Crysis 3 is going to push the PC boundary, the PC benchmark in gaming forward. We are doing the same approach as we done with Crysis 1, which was really like, okay, melt the PCs, bring them down effectively. And so what does it mean? Like DX11 only, for example. We didn't want to support anything else but DX11. We might offend some players with that, but we said, but most likely people will be happy. So tessellation, most advanced shading, the way we do reflections, the way we do ambient occlusion, the way we do lighting and atmospherics, like shadows from the sky, or there's hundreds of things that we are doing to push the visual experience forward. The key goal is not just to say feature, tick box them, but rather get the most immersive urban rainforest experience you can get. Makes it the most intense sandbox experience you can have as a player by taking these visual features into your decision-making process, right? So as I said, like tall grown grass or high grown grass is extremely difficult to render if it's everywhere, right? So this technology was achieved only through very smart engineering of certain kind of batch rendering technology, which allowed us to make vast grass, but also each grass had to be physical. It has to bend. It has to have AI information on it. Like AI, you can't see through here, right? Or you can, but you can see only a limited percentage. So all of that is where the Crysis 3 comes to place, where this is the culmination of the most advanced technology for gaming, driving the most advanced gameplay you can get. I think the fans can be happy about one thing, and I'm proud to say that because we truly listen to user feedback. We had our vision what we want to do with Crysis 3, but at a tactical level we said let's understand what they really liked and what they really didn't like in Crysis 2. So we listened to, they want more open environment. You got it. You get the best environments we've ever created, and they're open, they're rich, they're innovative, they're unique. Environments that you have never seen in a game before. That kind of lush, urban rainforest art direction scene. We have pushed the AI boundaries, make them very fair, but a very personal experience to you. It's a single player driven game, not just for the single player campaign, but also for the multiplayer experience. We wanted to be very innovative in multiplayer. We created this hunter mode. The hunter mode is the most single player-esque multiplayer you can get, effectively. It's effectively the essence of single player, packaged into a multiplayer experience, the asymmetric mode of 2 versus 10. I'm very proud of that mode because it's not a copycat of anything I've seen before. It's a truly unique, very emotionally story-charged, player-driven, player-created story-charged experience. It's very exciting. So the Nanosuit has been improved based on user research. We made it better, more fluid, more easier to control. The control reactions are much faster. We optimized that. The shooting experience is more rich and more visceral. We've added one of the most coolest signature I've ever, the bow, the Predator bow. Super exciting, and I think that game is, again, the culmination of the user experience, our experience of the last 10 years, and the best Crysis ever so far. Crysis 3 is going to come on PC, 360, and PlayStation 3 on February 19th in the US and February 22nd in Europe.